The Coaching Hour with Tumelo Tolakai
on Zoe Live Radio.
www.zoeliveradio.co.za.
Good evening. Welcome to the Coaching Hour with Khensani Chauke. You are welcome to the Coaching Hour tonight. The Coaching Hour is the show that transforms and equips communities. And tonight we have one of the youngest coaches I know. So what we're going to talk about tonight, we are talking about the art of repairing the broken parts or pieces of people. And I can't wait to hear what our coach tonight is going to teach us, what she's going to empower us. And I believe that we're gonna be inspired in her story and her transformation with her own life. So tonight I have in studio Coach Thuso Musua. She will be introducing further about herself. What I know about her is she's one of my friends that I met in when I was studying for coaching, life coaching at School of Life. And from there, we became close friends, not even close friends, because she looks up to me as a sister. So every time when she meets me, Ceci, and when she texts me, hello, Ceci, how are you? So she looks up to me as a sister. And we've been in this journey for, I think, almost 3 to 4 years in counting, and she's been doing very well. I love her job. Currently, what I know about her, she's been transforming youth, teenagers. She has this community get together where they teach them self-defense, mind transformation. They even go to camps to be equipped in so many things. And let me not talk or say a lot about what she does, and she will be saying that herself. But one thing I know that tonight we're gonna learn and we're gonna repair the broken pieces or parts that we lost somehow in our journey of life. So welcome, Coach Thuso. And how are you this evening?
Good evening, Coach K. Thank you so much for having me this evening. And I just wanted to say good evening to Zoe Radio Live and good evening to every beautiful person tuning in with us today. Thank you for joining us. And I also just want to thank you, Coach K, for allowing me to be a part of this coaching hour with you. I'm honored and grateful that you chose me. I hope I won't disappoint, but I'm grateful to be here, and I hope that I really do live up to the standard that you just set for me now.
No, you are welcome, Coach. I'm so glad you did allow me to interview in this show. And welcome. While we're still waiting for Coach Thuso, please invite your friends, invite your family, have a notepad and a pen so that you can be inspired and take some notes and write it down so that you don't forget what they said, and maybe some of the things will help you to grow, or there are challenges that you're also going through. You don't know how to repair broken pieces or broken parts that you have, but come through and invite your friends, and let's hear what Coach Thuso is going to teach us tonight. Coach, over to you. Without any waste of time, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so in my coaching part of my life with my clients and everyone, they refer to me as Coach Thusi, but officially my name is Thuso Itsile Kaukelo Musue, and I'm 25 years old. And as Coach K said, I've been in this life coaching journey for 3 to 4 years now. Yeah, but it sounds like a long time. So, I must say though, it's been the best 3 years of my life because there's nothing at all in the world that I love doing more than coaching. And I'm originally from Pretoria, grew up around Brits as well, and I currently live in Pretoria. I'm a life coach, an NLP practitioner, motivational speaker, writer, artist, and youth leader, among other things. But that's all we have time for today. I'll stop right there. And other than that, I'm a lover of people, a lover of life, seeing people and circumstances transform for the better and witnessing the growth in prosperity. I love my God and I love worship, and that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So I just want to give you guys a bit of a background before I get into oh my gosh, my notes. Okay. Before I get into the message I've prepared for today, my background is, I think I began a very, very long and deep struggle of depression and battling with suicide for most of my life. I think from the time I was 15 and for the next 5 years, I was in the darkest of pits, and I didn't know a pain like that, and it was the worst battle and struggle of my life. So those entire 5 years, but that suffering and the pain, I think, pushed me to a point where I was desperate for help, and every psychologist and psychiatrist and so on that I went to and I tried to consult with just couldn't help me with the kind of help that I needed. So then I embarked on a journey to go about trying to learn as much as I can learn, to find out how I could maybe go about coaching myself into health and into joy, because I believe that all the doctors were wrong. I don't think I have a mental problem. I think I just need to deal with a lot of things. So that's how I was pushed into coaching. And what happened for me to begin actually my journey in coaching was around the time when I was 19 turning 20. I discovered something online as I was researching and just trying to build up my knowledge on what I can do. I found something very, very beautiful. I stumbled upon it actually. It's something the Japanese call kintsukuroi. And the definition, the direct translation is to repair with gold. And it's a pottery art form where broken glass, clay pots, dishes, and other ornaments, once they're broken, they are not discarded, they're not thrown away, but rather they are restructured and put back together using gold instead. So the philosophy then behind kintsukuroi, I found out as I then, dug deeper into it, is the concept, it's based on the fact that when something breaks, people see it as ruined, but now they have completely flipped the whole narrative, and every object that breaks now is looked at as something more valuable for having been broken, because now it can be put together by gold. And when I read that, I think I was very, very moved. I was very, very moved because I felt like a broken part myself, and this was the first little glimmer of hope that I got that really gave me that validation that, hey, it's actually possible that something really, really incredible could come out of where I am. So that's when I decided that, okay, I'm going to implement kintsukuroi somehow, some way in my own life and with myself. So yeah, that's how I began my journey. And I think the most important thing that I needed to tell myself in order to actually pursue this and commit to it, and I had to tell this to myself on a daily basis because it was something new that I was not used to. And, sometimes you need to really force yourself into learning how to believe certain things, So every day I had to wake up and remind myself that, listen, I don't have a choice in this matter. I must be whole and complete again. But not just whole and complete again. I must be better, more valuable. And I'm going to turn this breaking and hurting into a pot of gold. And so I had to now teach myself to believe that I'm actually blessed for having been broken and having suffered such pain.
Sure. Coach, I hear you. So at what point, at what point or when did you realize that you need help? What made you?
I think I always knew I needed help. I always knew I needed help. I think I just couldn't quite figure out the type of help that I needed.
What made you realize that you always needed help? What came into, at what event maybe? Sorry, at what event? What clicked in your head, or what happened that gave you a wake-up call and say that no, if something like this has happened or could have happened, now I realize that I need help?
Okay, well, I think the wake-up call, the minute when I think I got to the point where I was like, okay, there's no way I can continue to live like this. It was when, just a year before I turned 20, when I was 19 and I was hospitalized. I had internal bleeding and I had a growth on my cervix. So I was in hospital and so they had to operate and so forth. But because of the relationships that I've been having, because of the state that I was in over the past 4 or 5 years, I had isolated myself. I had pushed everybody away so much that the whole time that I was in hospital, not even one person came see me. No one called me, and no one even just thought, hey, how are you today? And I think I've never ever felt so lonely in my whole life. And that really, really tore me apart. And I realized that I can't continue to live like this, So that was the turning point. And I think that was even the point when, because I had no one, the only person I could turn to was God, So that's where I think everything changed for me.
Yeah, indeed, God is our Savior. We all need to go and consult Him whenever we need Him.
Definitely.
Especially when you feel alone. There are some events that happen in your life, and we always think that, no, I need my friends to be here, or I need my parents to be here with me, or you need your partner or your siblings. But there are points where it's you need God to save you in that situation. Even though those people are there, you will still feel alone because they won't fill up the void that you feel inside you until you reach out. I remember my mom used to say, I miss her a lot, She used to say to us, my children, one thing that you need to know in life is that you are nothing without God. And we took it so lightly. As we grew up, it was mom. She was saying this and saying that, until there was a time in my life where I also felt that I'm alone and no one can save me. I need to save myself. And I remembered what she said about you are nothing without God. And that's when I realized that I only have one hiding place, and that hiding place is in God's presence, nowhere else. I even remember there was a time I was listening to Dr. Dumi's song that I'm nothing without you. And it hit so hard. And that day I received a song. It's like it was a revelation of some sort that, Khensani, you need God in this situation. You don't need anybody, but you need God. And that's when I realized that I really need to turn to Him so that He can save me and save my life. Yeah. And I hear your story. Okay, you may proceed.
Yeah, and I thank you so much, because I think me going through my depression, like the only thing I felt most was anger towards God. So I turned away from God because I couldn't understand if God loves me so much, how can He allow me to
Coach,
do my thing?
you are breaking. You are breaking. I think something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Something is wrong with your speaker.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So, as I was saying, having been so angry with God and turned my back to God, it took not losing everything else to realize that He was the only solution to what I was going through. You know, I think that's why help that I needed, because only God could help me where I was. And that's how the coaching began. God coached me back to health, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, so then I began a process once I came out of hospital. Yeah, and once I came out of hospital, that's when I began the self-coaching project that I wanted to do, which was just coaching myself into a higher version of myself, you know.
Okay. Sure. And self-coaching, it's necessary.
Please say that again.
I was saying that self-coaching is necessary because you need to become the change you want to see in the world. So it starts with you.
Yes.
Okay, coach. And let's discuss your journey as a coach now.
All right. Okay, so my journey as a coach. Okay, just hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so my journey as a coach, then it started with the first thing that I had to do was to evaluate myself, introspect, and also dedicate myself to doing this. So first of all, I cut off wanting to go out. I cut off friends. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't watching much TV. I was spending a lot of time by myself. And because I realized that there's so many things that we believe that we receive from other people, and that's also what lands us confused in life, you know? So I shut out all external distractions, and I had to be down with myself. And I had to also commit myself to be honest with myself, and brutally honest, you know? So as I began evaluating myself, the things that I needed to evaluate were my strengths, my talents, my passions, and my capabilities. Because I think, you know, when you go through a lot of disappointment and failure in life, you get to a point where you don't even believe in things that at some point you knew you were, or things that you knew you could do, you know, and you even begin to doubt even those things. So now I have to look at myself in a way that no one else can see me, and in a way that I haven't seen myself in a long time. Yeah.
Sure.
So I had to do that, and I had to write it all down, because I think that is the most important thing. It's not enough to just think it, you know, write it down. So as I wrote all of these things down, like instantaneously, like that first exercise that I did of just reflecting on myself, that like brought so much hope, and, you know, like brought so much energy back into my life, because it's like I immediately started to come back to myself, although it was only a little part, you know, but it was that instantaneous. Once I wrote those things down and read them, I cried, you know, just remembering who I am. So yeah, that was the first thing that I had to do. And then the second step that I then took was then loving myself the way that I am, for all those things that I have that are my strengths, all the things I'm good at, and even the things that I'm not, being able to love myself in my failures and in my mistakes and in my shortcomings, you know. So basically learning to love myself the way I wish everyone would love me was what I had to now learn to do and practice how to do. And I realized as I was doing that something that as people we never realize is the fact that we also, like, as a person, you deserve all the love that you give to everybody else too. You are just as worthy. And so as much as you prioritize giving love to the people that matter most to you, you need to be high on that list too. So that meant on a daily basis, I had to have things that I'm going to do that will be acts of love to myself before I even deal with anyone else, because now this was something I needed to learn to do, because no one teaches us how to love ourselves. Yeah, you know. And so while practicing just showing love to myself, then I also realized that, you know, as I love myself, I fill my love tank, and it gets to a point where now I'm not dependent on other people's love. I'm now self-sufficient in love, pretty much, you know. But it changed my life, because even the love that I could now give to other people was on another level, you know. So yeah, loving other people in a different way, but it all started with loving me first in a different way that I never have before. And through that, then I also learned how to love God as well. You know, like, I fell in love with my maker. I really, really fell in love with my maker.
That's powerful.
You know, so yeah.
Okay. From what I hear, are you saying that you had to isolate yourself from a lot of things? Do you believe in a code that says?
Yes.
Do you believe in a code that says you become what you watch and listen to?
Definitely. And even in the Bible, there's a scripture that says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he."
Exactly.
You know, so obviously you will only think of the things that you see here and you keep in your mind, you know. So if you can just be disciplined about what those things are, they will affect who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah. Healing is a journey, self-discovery is a journey, and transformation is also a journey. It's what you do with it, and it will help you to grow. Yes. So, Coach, let's talk about your coaching practice, because I know that you're running a coaching practice and you're working with teenagers. How is that going, and how are you helping them?
Okay, so my coaching practice, it's still starting. Okay. You know, it's still starting, but mostly I work with, although my main focus at the moment is girls, because I'm still trying to build up the momentum of the girls' events before I can dive into something else. But it's not only limited to youth, because there are other projects and initiatives that my practice has been a part of. For example, there's a farm in Brits Northwest around Letlhabile. It's called Zvezda Game Lodge. And when I met the owner, Babzikalala, he was a man he runs this beautiful farm. It's a beautiful place. And what he does, he has a program where previously addicted, previously rehabilitated youth, or not even just youth, but anyone who has survived addiction, then comes to the farm and will then get, you know, taught everything to do with agriculture, whatever they desire to learn, and then also just be in, like, you know, reinjected back into society, but in a different environment. So I was then called to be a part of that program where we would have confidence building sessions. So that's another thing that I have done. And other than that, we've done a girls' confidence building camp where we had a karate sensei who would teach us self-defense. And we also had a whole lot of powerful women speakers, because I think what I really, really want to do in these girls' camps is to put young girls in a room with the kinds of women that you don't necessarily get to meet, so you can learn and hear the types of things you don't necessarily get to hear. And I think I've been blessed enough as I go about my life to meet really powerful and impactful women, and so I need to expose them to as many girls as I can, so yeah.
Sure.
And then also, we have the transformation camp for girls as well, which is still coming later on this year, and a few more other things in the pipeline. And then, I also coach underprivileged youth, and that's just something that I do on the side. And it's a free coaching. It's a free coaching initiative, basically, because I found that from where I'm from, Kumtutung, in the areas around Makau and such, there's a lot of, for example, kids who are orphans. And now if a kid is an orphan and the family won't even help them go to school, how will I even now begin to say, no, but my coaching costs this much? Does that mean now they don't deserve help? And if you don't have parents, who's going to help you? So that's where that comes from. And yeah, that's pretty much what my practice has done thus far.
Yeah, sure. I love your work. You are doing very well for yourself. So in those sessions that you have with the teenagers that you are coaching, do some of them relate to your experience, or are you able to meet them at their level, or things that they are challenging? How do they receive this coaching?
They really do. And and I think that's one thing, despite any challenges I may have in the coaching, even being a young business person and being a young Black woman trying to do coaching, everyone already just thinks that, you're a kid, what do you know about coaching, about anything? So it's challenging, but that's what has pushed me to keep going as a coach, because just seeing the impact that the coaching has had, it's overwhelming. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I think anyone who needs help, I think, will always be receptive of help if you just give it to them.
Okay. So are you doing life coaching as a whole, or you have certain areas that you specialize in?
I am doing coaching as a whole.
Oh, okay. All right. That's awesome. I hear you. So I want to
do more. I hope to be a coach in everything eventually.
You are. I remember one time you spoke about your story as an addict. Do you mind sharing the journey of you recovering from that?
The journey of recovery, funny enough, it happened all at the same time when I was going through the self-coaching phase of my life. And I think once I was able to face my issues and what I'm really dealing with, I realized that I never really had a drug addiction problem. My problem was that I'm depressed and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know where to go. And so I just looked for any way at all just to not feel that way, because I did not have a solution, And so once I started dealing with depression, I realized I don't even crave these things. It was never about the substances. It was about a cry for help. Yeah.
So you were using them as a coping mechanism.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. So how, after that, what has changed about you?
Okay, what has changed? Well, I think I definitely have a much bigger heart. I'm much more humble. I remember I was in the car with my mom the other day, and we were passing, one of these guys that live on the street who are on Nyaupe. And she was just making a comment, no man, but at the end of the day, no one gives you drugs, so it's self-inflicted. And I was like, no. there's a lot of things that you don't even consider about a person in those shoes. But now I can relate to that because of what I've been through. And I was telling her that if someone is going to live on the streets every day and they have a home, you must understand that there must be something worse than the streets that they are running from. And just try and imagine whatever that must be like. And then you'll understand why this person is here and you'll have compassion.
Yeah. Sure. So would you say the journey of your life has made you discover your purpose in life?
No, it led me to believe in my purpose. I think I've always seen the signs. I've always been aware of it. But I think I also just thought it was just like one of those lucky skills that I just so happened to have. I didn't think that it was like a purpose, like some of the preachers that I listen to and the speakers, they'll tell you that the world, like for you to have been born and created, it's because the world is in need of something that is inside of you. So this whole journey then finally built the belief in me that this is actually not just something I'm good at. This is something that I must do and I must give out to the world because it's what I'm here for.
And it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're living your purpose and you're making sure that you are doing exactly what God has called you to do. And you know that God, all that God wants, it's souls, testimonies are saving other people's life. We need to always share our testimonies and things that we went through, transformations where we changed and because of like I said earlier that healing it's a process. I always tell my clients that healing is a process. You don't just come to coaching sessions for maybe 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks and then the pain is gone. No, you work through it each and every day and you tell yourself that you don't want to go back to that space.
And I think even the journey never stops because now, even becoming a life coach, I think I'm still in the process of self-coaching, and especially the past 3 years with COVID, all the things that have happened, I had to work very, very hard to maintain the right frame of mind to be able to keep going. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's true because they say, healthy life, healthy minds. So we need to keep on renewing our minds so that we can have, we must become mental stable. There was this other guy, I think it was yesterday. So he was passing and I was at the balcony and from my view, he's not normally mentally. And from what I've heard people say about him, he's not, he's unstable mentally. And then he said, "Hello, Sissy, how are you?" I said, "I'm good, and you?" Then we started talking about whether the rain is coming and all that. And at that moment, I was like, why people are saying this person is not mental stable? If the person can communicate with me so well and be nice and, and see that it's cloudy, very soon it's going to rain. And what exactly is not stable about him? Because of the person who is unstable, they won't even greet you. They won't even notice you, So I was like, this is so wrong to just judge people from seeing them from far or hearing what people are saying about them. We must always reach out. And, I was so glad after he spoke to me because I used to be scared of him, like the way he looks and how street kids are. And after that conversation, I felt okay. And I just said, God, touch him because he is your child. I don't know what is happening in his life, why he's living his life like this, but just reach him out. And whenever I see him, I'll speak to him. I'll show him love. I'll, even though it's always in a distance, but I'll show that there is love, not in only one person, but every person you meet in life. You just need to reach out and say, hey, how are you? And yeah, I felt good about that, you know what, Khensani, don't judge, because life can humble you. You know, when we face challenges in life, we realize how humbling life can become. And yeah, I love your concept of saying we need.
And even coach, even some of the simple things, like when we were doing our coaching training and we would, you know, have all the sessions on each other, and you know, that whole process, like I realized some things like are not that deep. It's just tears that were never cried because I had no one to cry to, you know. So sometimes it's not even about making a drastic change in someone's life. It's just being there for a person to feel safe enough to cry, you know? So, yeah.
Ish. And because the other thing is, we tend not to be present. Like most of parents, they are home but not present. Most of siblings, I have a brother, I have a sister, I have, you know, am I present to them? Or I just see them as family. We don't even pay attention to certain things. Are you paying attention to your own children? Are you present, or are you just paying bills? You know, that's why we hardly see or feel when somebody is crying out loud, because we're not paying attention, because we are not present. You'll find that you can sit with someone in a sitting room or go to a restaurant and maybe have some lunch. Are you present? Or you are just there to eat? So there's one thing that I told myself, that, you know, in 2022, one thing that I pray to achieve and make sure that God helps me, God must help me on this one, is to be present, because I know I have friends, I have people around me, but I've realized that I'm not present. Yes, I talk to them, but I'm not present, because I don't even have that discernment of you know, of knowing what's happening in their lives and where can I help and all that, because I'm not there. When you're not present, you won't even feel or see things that are happening around you. You not
things that are very obvious.
Exactly.
Things that are very obvious.
Exactly. It's because of we are not present. We just available. No, where is mommy? No, she's available. Is she present? She's not. I'm not, but I'm available at home. So it's one thing I told myself, that God, in 2022, what I'm bringing in 2022 is present. I just want to be present. You know, I don't want to be available only. I just want to be present, because we tend to say each and every year, we will say, you know, maybe 2021, it's going to bring me wealth, success, money, business and all that. No, it's not what the year brings to us. It's what we're bringing to the year. Who is Tuso in 2022, you know? Who is Khensani 2022?
You remind me, Michael Todd as well. Michael Todd, the preacher, was saying the vision for 2022 that he received from God, and like that moved me. And he said, all God is saying to us for this year is, here is holy. So it doesn't matter where they was, doesn't matter what, just here. Yeah. I'm here, you know, like my grace is here. Everything is here. Just be here. You can be here. You will find holy. So I've just been like, wow. Wow. So you are literally even in line with that. And I think that's what we all need to do, especially with the pandemic we're just coming from. We're not present. We're looking at the statistics. We're thinking about, oh, you know what I mean? We're not present. And I think that's the thing with coaching, I've learned. Everyone in the world, there's 8 billion of us, we all need coaching. We all are not present, you know, and we all need help to be present and to realize ourselves and where we are. And that's why I'm just all about the life coaching, because I'm a world changer. Well, that's what I've decided. That's my name and my title.
Yeah, changing lives. We are here to change lives.
That's my job description. That's my job description. I'm a world changer. I can either change the whole world or that's not one person's world. But either way, I'm changing a world or my own world. A world is changing either way.
Yeah, so true, so true. We just need to become the change we want to see, because we keep on complaining about things, but at the end of the day, we remain the same people. So
exactly. And also often the things we complain about are things that we are neglecting to see that are within ourselves. Like if your own self, you're actually complaining about it at the end of the day. You know?
So true. So we still need some self-coaching. I need to coach myself and remind myself who I am. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Am I living my purpose each and every day? Because purpose is a lifestyle. Each and every day.
It is.
Each and every day you are writing your own purpose book, because no one, you cannot leave pages and then thinking that other people will fill them up for you. So it's a lifestyle. How you wake up, how you speak to people, how you go back to sleep at night, how you live your life during the day. You are writing your own purpose book. So listeners and viewers, are you writing your own purpose book? Are you there? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you understand what a purpose is? So it's one thing that I've discovered myself, that you know what, Khensani, you cannot remain the same person each and every year. What is it that you're bringing to the table in your life each and every day? You know, when we do check-ins in the morning and check-ins at night, what is it that you have done that will change the world or the situation you are or the circumstances that you're living in? And
I remember my older sister. It does. I remember my older sister said one thing to me, and I think that's one of the things that really also helped me step up my game and just who I was allowing myself to be. She said, listen, just make sure every single space you enter into, you leave it better. And I was like, what? Okay. Okay, that I can do. There must be, you were here, there was a person here and you left and there's a change, you know? And that's what like I implement, and that's what I like, that's my main belief in life, you know?
You must,
for real. As long as I make the environment better somehow.
You must leave a mark. And while we are on that, what do you do to make sure that you are aligned to your purpose each and every day? What are activities that
well, first of all, I don't take in a lot of entertainment that is not aligned to my purpose and my goals and the things that I'm working on. So I only take in things that are gonna feed my purpose, and I limit the things that don't. Maybe every now and then I'll have a day off and so forth, but my daily ritual is I must be consuming entertainment and content that is aligned to where I am and where I need to go. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I pray. I pray every single day. I cannot start the day without praying, because at the end of the day, as much as I've always known who I was, I don't know the full purpose yet. I'm also discovering this purpose. I did not write it. You know, and that's why it's important. It was important for me to learn to love God, because that's the only way any of this was going to happen. The only way I can be effective and impactful in my purpose is if I know what that purpose is, and if the person who created it is going to keep me aligned to it. So that's I think even the highest priority in remaining in my purpose.
That's so true. So that's lovely. yeah, you have a simple day. Your day is not as hectic as other people. So it's so simple and straightforward. I love that. I love simple things, though I make my own life hard sometimes. But to be honest, I love being at peace, because I know that I become productive when I'm. So one thing that I always seek in the morning, I seek peace. I remember my daughter once asked me that, Mama, how did you discover your purpose in life and all that? And come to think of it, I said to her that, you know what, for a longest time, I didn't know what exactly God has called me to do. All I did was just to be a good person. One thing I knew was I need to be humble. Humanity is everything. You can have it all, but if you don't have humanity, you have nothing. So I always went. I always went to God each and every time and say, God, please reveal what my purpose is in life, because I don't, and at the time I didn't understand what I was doing. I was just living and doing what I was told to do, and just living from what others are saying. I remember when I was growing up, my mom wanted me to be a doctor, because she used to say, you have...
Mine too. Mine too.
She used to say, Ceci, you have a good heart. You know, the way you have a good heart, God has blessed you with a healing hand. You love praying for people, and they, at home, like when somebody's sick, we always consult each other. If I'm not feeling well myself, like any time of the day, I call my kids to pray for me. I call my dad or my brother, but I will always appoint someone to do the healing prayer on my behalf. So we grew up being taught that you need to be able to be available when somebody's sick. Just pray. These days we even do it over voice notes or video call or just a call. So in my mind, it was like, okay, doctor maybe, but I was doing commerce at school. I wasn't doing science and math and all those things. And as I was going to college, then somebody said, I think you can be a good social worker. So my life was like in between, okay, social worker, okay, doctor. What exactly? Who am I? Who am I exactly? I remember the way I was so hungry to know exactly what is it that God wanted. I would fast and pray and say, God, you need to answer this prayer, because I was confused.
Too. Can I make you laugh? Can you believe it if I told you that when I was actually in grade R, graduating grade R, the year-end function where we like our graduations. I was actually playing a lead role in that play as a social worker. And I was thinking about that the other day. No matter what has been aligning me with this whole thing the whole time.
Yeah. So it's very important, like now, and like I always said to myself that no, maybe the education of purpose must start in high school, so that when you are in high school, maybe grade 10, you go on a journey of discovering who you are, what your purpose is earlier before you leave maybe high school. And because like when I left high school, I was so blank. I didn't know what to do, how to do it, where to do it, and when. And I remember
especially to rush, because how can you be choosing a life when you don't know yourself?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so now I just thank God that I know I might not be there yet. However, I'm working on it, and I have mentors that are helping me to grow in that purpose, who are helping me to discover and do better in what God has called me to do. So I'm so glad that I wasn't alone in that, because most of the time I don't even want to share because I'm like, what if people knew their purpose long time ago and I'm still struggling with mine, until I understood. I said, no. From now on, I make sure, even with my clients, I take them to that journey of self-discovery and finding the purpose, because purpose helps you to align your life. You know where you're going, what you need to do, and how to live your life. Because when you don't know your purpose, you become all over. Like your mind is all over. You don't know how to feed your mind because you don't know exactly.
And sometimes you know your purpose. But the world has completely distorted everything that you originally knew. Like I remember as I was coming up in high school, like I kept being instructed that you with your kind of brains, you should be an investment banker. You should do this. You should do that. You should do that. And I'm just like, but why did I listen to these people? Because I've always known who I am and who I want to be.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Coach, I hear you. So let's go back to the art of repairing the broken pieces. How can we master that art of repairing the broken pieces?
I think by committing to, first of all, repairing those pieces. It's gonna take, like, if anything is going to blossom, it's gonna take a routine. It's gonna take persistence and consistency for something to happen. You have to water your little seed every single day if you're going to expect anything to come up out of it. So because we don't always have the answers, but we just still have to keep trying and be willing. I think that's the main part. Be willing. Be willing to fix the broken pieces on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. Yeah. But it's so hard, though. It's so hard to.
It is. The thing is, like, transformation is a very, very messy process. It's very, very messy. It's bloody. It's sweaty. It's ghetto. Transformation is very ghetto, but it's crucial. It's crucial. Like, so many people live such empty lives because you've just remained stagnant in the same person that you've been for so long. You haven't dealt with anything. You haven't grown into anything,
Sure. I hear you, Coach. So before we go to the end of our show, share with us where can our viewers and listeners reach you?
Okay. I'm available on email. Like anyone can send me an email personally to Thuso, THUSO.Mosuwe, MOSUWE @gmail.com. And they can either call or send me a message on WhatsApp. The number is 082-375-0594. Other than that, the only other way to reach me is Facebook, and my name on Facebook is Thuso Thusi Siqwebu, SICWEBU.
Okay. Instagram, do you have an Instagram account?
Instagram, I do have an Instagram account, but the name is very, very complicated. So, yeah. I'm an artist, remember?
Yes. I remember that you are an artist. And how is your book writing going? Are you done with your books?
Oh, can I tell you? I was done with the book, but I lost all my data, all my backups on my hard drive and my laptop. So I have to start a new one pretty much. I have to start a new one. But I think I'm glad that happened, because where I am now in life tells a much better story than where I was years ago, so I'm looking forward to start. You'll be the first person to know once it's done, the new one.
I can't wait. You're so coach.
Yeah, you're my only critic. You're my only critic. I don't trust a lot of people's opinions, but yours I do.
I'm the lucky one. When people say we trust you, ooh, you guys will take us to jail.
Yeah. Can I tell you? I remember when we met on the first day, right, in class. And remember, like, our names were put next to each other. And as like the day was going by and we were in class, you looked at me and you were like, "How are you? I'm going to keep you by my side." And look at you now, you really did. So you see, at first.
And I didn't even, I don't even know why did I say that. And I don't even remember.
I also didn't know, because I was like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, but we had quite a journey. We had quite a journey of transformation. I don't want to lie to you. My life has changed.
We did.
It has changed like 199. I don't know how to value it, but after those lessons and those class and those awesome people that we were around, like, I look at life differently. It was my journey of self-discovery. I understood myself better. When you born again, when you're saying, Father,
that's exactly what happens when you go through the life coaching. Look, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like some people don't even go to become a life coach. That process alone is all that they're there for.
Yes, exactly. And at the end, it's like you've been baptized, you've been sent off to go and say, go and do this and give me results, And from there, I said, you know what, God, I don't know where to start, how to start, but you will lead me. You will lead me on doing things that you want me to do in life. I've taken a step. And I started with myself. I had to work on me first and become that change I wanted in life and all that. So most of the people will say, Khensani, are you sure that you went through struggle? You went through pain? I was like, if I can share my pain with you, you will cry and tell me to stop, because I had to work to such an extent that whenever I'm sharing my story with people, I no longer cry. So that's hard. That's how hard I worked on myself, because it's not easy. It's not easy to just say, no, I'm fine, everything is okay. No, when everything is not okay, it's not okay. And you must cry out loud and find help. Because I used to be that person of saying, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. Everybody will say, I remember one time my younger brother told me that, you are good in pretending. When you can hide pain and laugh. And, we always believe in your smile. Whenever you smile, we think that everything.
Can I just say, you are just already phenomenal, though. Like, I hear you want to just be better, but sis, though. Like, one thing I learned from this meeting you and getting to know you was, okay, who said there are limits to what you can do and what you can be? I learned from you that there are no limits. What? I can do a lot and everything and make it work. Yeah. No ways. You changed my entire concept. So also, please just give yourself the credit for just the phenomenal woman that you are, because wow.
Yeah, I thank God for his grace and saving my life, And I think we are left with maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So what is it that you want to leave the listeners with? especially on this year of 2022. You know, another thing is guys, that this thing of saying 2022 will bring me this, will bring me joy, will bring me, no, 2022 is not gonna bring anything to the table. It's what you bring with you in that year that is going to change and transform your life. So can you please highlight or give us key principles on what to bring in 2022 to see our life become better and better, Coach?
So basically, the only mission, goal, and objective for this year is to leave no stone unturned.
Oh,
everything that
we lost.
Everything that must be done and will be done. There is no other option.
Yeah,
that is
for sure.
That is my 2022. Arishiselo this year. Arishiselo, we want everything. Everything.
Yeah, we want everything, and we must also remember that God is first. There's nothing you can do without Him, and we are also nothing without Him. So we just need to work on that and make sure that we know where we are and what we're doing. And yeah, are you back? Yes. So for now, you can say bye to our listeners.
We're done so soon.
Yes.
That was too quick. Okay, it's fine. I hope you'll call me back then. Okay?
I'll definitely do.
So, in closing, please do. So, in closing, I don't have much left to say to the listeners, except I think what changed my life is when I decided to chase my purpose. And I decided the money, the paper will end up chasing me regardless, but I'm going to chase my purpose. And everything changed from there. And as you heard me earlier on, I mentioned that World Changer is my name, right? And it's not my name, it's my title and my full job description in the world. And I think that's what purpose is. Purpose is it's always short, one simple thing that you are meant to just exude wherever you are, whatever field you find yourself in. And so mine is World Changer. And what I'm asking every single one of the listeners is, what is yours?
Yeah.
And I just hope.
Okay. Thank you, the viewers and listeners. Please don't forget to leave your comments on the comment section. Oh, she's back. And Coach Tuso, thank you so much for coming through tonight and educating us about fixing and repairing broken parts and pieces that we have in us and chasing our purpose regardless of what is happening in our lives and circumstances. And I'm very, very honored and humbled for you to agree and say, you know what, don't worry, I'll come through. I'm so happy and grateful for that. And I wish you all the best.
Girl, anytime you call. Anytime you call up.
I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. And I wish you all the best in your practice, and may God bless you with more clients, and go and change those lives as God is after souls. You know, what we need to do now is to bring those souls to the Lord and get them saved and make sure that they are in good place. And we thank you for your effort and time. And the rest is history. The rest is history. So
no, it really is history.
Yeah.
And you know, we have 2 months until the transformation camp. See, what from then on it's really been history.
True.
It's been history.
True. So listeners, if you want to get in touch with Coach too. So you can leave your comments in the comment section, and then I'll send you guys the details if you missed them earlier. This is the Coaching Hour with Khensani Chauke. I'm still standing for Coach Boitumelo Hlolakai, and I'm so happy to be back in 2022, and I'm working on what I'm bringing. I know this year has nothing for me. The year is waiting for me to bring something to it, and I'm ready and looking forward to see what is it that I will bring in this year. And as for me, Khensani, good night, guys. I'll see you again next week, Tuesday night. Good night and God bless you. I love you. Bye. Bye, Coach. Thank you so much for coming through.
Good night. Love you so much. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
I love you too. Bye.